Hi, and welcome to the Robotel blog, where we keep you updated on everything you need to know about language teaching and technology. My name is Hannah Hase, your main blog author. No matter what language or level you're teaching, providing feedback to your students is probably one of your most time-consuming tasks. As part of the grading process, you spend hours and hours every week writing comments or notes to your students and sometimes also their parents. I want to share with you a couple of helpful tips and tricks to help save you time and energy when it comes to grading your students. Let's start with a couple of do and don'ts when it comes to providing feedback to your students. Number one, try to encourage them and give them feedback immediately, like right then and there in a lesson, shortly after they've made a mistake or they did something great, so that students still remember what they did well or didn't do well. When teaching a language, verbal or oral feedback should be your main source of feedback, really, for your students, just so that they can hear the correct pronunciation, they can hear the right sentence structure and the word in the right context. Check out the Smart Class Hub, because there it is super easy to provide verbal feedback to your students constantly. For every activity, you can just record your verbal feedback, which will save you a lot of time when you don't want to write everything down, and it's right there in one place. Students can't lose it, and they can re-listen to it over and over and over. Number two, use as many positive words when you give feedback as possible, no matter what that's written or verbal feedback. And number three, let technology do most of the work for you. I already mentioned the Smart Class Hub, where you can record feedback, but they also have automatically graded activities that really give you time to listen to your students and give them feedback, because you don't have to grade every single little activity anymore. And Smart Class has content already in English, Spanish, and German, so 50% of those activities are automatically graded. Number five, provide examples. Try to give your students an example of how they could be doing better or what they did really well. Whether that's in front of everybody, sometimes it's nice to praise a student in front of people, or you take them to aside and you give them a little spiel of like, hey, I heard you say this again, let me correct you, let me help you here. Rule number 6, follow the feedback sandwich. Make sure you say something positive, then something constructive or slightly negative, followed by something positive again. That way, your student will feel comfortable because they have heard 2 positive things, but right in the middle there, you can feed in some constructive criticism and an idea of like, what could you do better next time? Next, keep your students' personality in mind. Some students might be okay receiving some criticism and really want to do better and have no problem listening to you say something negative to them, while others might shy away if they hear that they did something bad. So always keep in mind who your student is. Who are they? Is it a good idea to give them feedback right then and there in front of everybody? Should you maybe have a separate conversation with them? How much criticism can you give? You know your students best, so just keep that in mind when you're giving feedback, whether that's verbal or written. Also, there's a time and place for feedback. So giving feedback all the time might not be the ideal idea, but it's also not good to wait till report cards or the end of the semester to really give feedback. So try to give feedback that, is in between too much and too little, obviously. Lastly, involve your students in the feedback process. Students aren't as convinced and comfortable in their language learning process usually. So why not give them a self-evaluation? Give them something, and then that opens up the conversation for you to give them feedback, positive and negative. The CEFR, for example, offers a great amount of can-do statements. So students can look at those and be like, yep, I can do these, or no, I'm not that good at it. So then that gives you a way in of saying, okay, what can we do? How can we improve? And I've noticed the same kind of thing. The Let's Talk English curriculum from Robotel that uses Smart Class, they already have these self-assessment rubrics, but it's super easy for you to create those yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click on the link below if you want to find out more and maybe see some of these self-assessment rubrics and some other tips and tricks around verbal and written feedback. I hope you enjoyed this video. To read the full article, click on the link below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.